Alright students, so welcome back. Welcome to Noun 2 students. In Noun 2, we would be starting with rule number 3 students. And you can see the questions of rule number 3 on the board. The first question says, Pakistan's flag was hosted. Pakistan ka jhanda fehraya gaya. Second question, Pakistani's properties were confiscated. Pakistaniyon ki property jabt ki gayi. So here are two different questions. Same thing. You have to tell me, are the two questions written on the board correct or not? So see, the first question first. First question, as you can see here, that with Pakistan's flag, with Pakistan is a country. This first question is correct. The second one is wrong. Why so? Here rule number 3 says that for country name, with country name, Pakistan is what? That's a country. With country name to show possession, अगर किसी देश को possession दिखाना हो, अधिकार दिखाना हो. So with country name, we can use apostrophe s to show possessiveness. So here apostrophe s is correct. So the question is also correct. Now come to the second question. Pakistani. This is what? This is nationality. This was the name of nation and this is nationality. But if the case is of nationality, we cannot use apostrophe s with any nationality, whether it is American, Indian, Afghani or Turkish, anything. We cannot use apostrophe s with nationality. But if we talk about any nation name, take some example of Pakistan, America, India, Russia, with nation name, with any country name to show possessiveness, we may use or we can use apostrophe s student. But with the case of nationality, we cannot use apostrophe s students. So the question second is wrong. The right answer should be properties of Pakistani. Properties of Pakistani were confiscated. So students, with the case of nationality, when the case of nationality comes, we would be using of in place of apostrophe s students. So please note down the question, then I'll write down the rule. So students, I have written the rule also here on the board. See, if the noun is nation, if the noun is the name of any nation, any country name, then to show possession, we can use either apostrophe s or of. But if the noun is nationality, to show possession in this case, we can only use of. So please note down the rule and draw the table same. So students, now come to question rule number 4. Here are two different questions for rule number 4. The first question says, I'll read out for you. Soldiers fight for nation's sake. Is this correct or not? What about the second one? I bought some medicines for mother's sake. What about the second one? Is this correct? See, both questions are wrong. See, why is it wrong? Because nation is what? That's a noun. Mother is what? That's a noun. And rule number 4 says, this rule is a word specific, a word centric. This rule has specially been made for this word sake. You must be seeing one word is common in both the questions. This sake word is common in both the questions. सैनिक लड़ते हैं देश के भलाई के लिए. मैंने दवाइयां खरीद लाई माता के भलाई के लिए. The Hindi meaning of this sake word is भलाई के लिए. Now, the rule says, rule number 4 says that if any noun is used together with this word sake, if any noun is used together with this word sake, then it is mandatory for you to use apostrophe s with the noun. So nation's sake, now is this correct? And same goes with mother also. Since this mother, this noun has been used with this word sake, so we must use apostrophe s with this noun as per rule number 4 student. So the rule is very simple. If the word sake is used together with any noun, then it is mandatory for you to use apostrophe s with the noun. So please note down the question, students. So students, I have written down the rule in a mathematical formula. You can see here on the board, if noun, any noun, I must note down here, any noun, it is not that any specific noun. If any noun is used together with the word sake, this rule is this word centric. This rule specifically is made for this word sake. If any noun is used together with this word sake, then it is mandatory for you to use apostrophe s with that noun. So please note down the rule in a very simplified manner. Alright students, so now let us begin with rule number 5. You can easily see the question of rule number 5 on the board. The question says, Ram's daughter's son died. Ram ki beti ka beta mar gaya. So now tell me, is the sentence right or wrong? See, the sentence is absolutely wrong. Why so? Because rule number 5 says that in a single sentence, how many sentences can you see on the board? Just one? Yes. In a single sentence, the maximum number of apostrophe s you can use is 1. In double sentence, the maximum number of apostrophe s is 2. So basically the rule says, in a single sentence, multiple apostrophe s should not be used. एक सेंटेंस में एक से अधिक apostrophe s का इस्तेमाल गलत होगा. And we can easily see here, there has been used 2 apostrophe s in a single sentence. That's why this sentence is wrong. Then what should be the correct one? The correct one would be son of Ram's daughter died. The Hindi meaning will remain the same. Ram ki beti ka beta mar gaya. The Hindi meaning will remain the same. But now the thing is, now the second sentence is grammatically correct. The second sentence is grammatically correct. The first one was grammatically wrong because the rule says in a single sentence you cannot use multiple apostrophe s students. So please note down the rule, the question, then moving on to the rule. So students, I have written the rule also. The rule is very simple. Avoid multiple uses of apostrophe s in a single sentence. एक sentence में एक से ज़्यादा apostrophe s नहीं इस्तेमाल कर सकते आप. Please note down the rule. Moving on to rule number 6 now. Alright class, so now let us begin with rule number 6. 3 different questions are there for rule number 6. Most of you must be thinking these are very basic things, but these are some of the very silly and common mistakes which we eventually do every day in our life. So see students, the first question. These questions seems to be very simple, but these are not, mind you. The first question says, this boy's car is red. Is this correct? Yes, this is correct. Those boys' cars are red. Is this correct? No, that's wrong. Those men's cars are red. This is correct. Only the second one is wrong. Now, you must be thinking, why the second one is wrong? See, the rule is very simple. Rule number 6 says that if the noun is singular, boy is what? That's a singular noun. If the noun is singular, then to show possession, we can use apostrophe s. So this is correct. But if the noun is plural, boys, this is what? That's a plural noun. And there are 2 types of plural noun. One plural noun which ends with s, as you can see here, boys, toys, and cars. These nouns end with s. Okay? If the noun ends with s, and one plural noun is such which do not end with s. For example, men. Men again is a plural noun, but this does not end with s. Boys is also a plural noun, but it ends with s. So those plural noun which ends with s and those plural noun, if they want to show possession, then they cannot use apostrophe s. Rather, they have to use only apostrophe sign. But if the plural noun do not end with s, like for example men, children, if the plural noun do not end with s, and such plural noun can easily show possession with the help of apostrophe s. So third one is right. So basically students, there are 3 types of noun. First one is singular noun. With singular noun, we can use apostrophe s to show possession. Plural noun ending with s, they cannot use apostrophe s. Rather, they will use apostrophe sign. Plural noun, those plural nouns which do not end with s, they can use apostrophe s to show possession, students. So I hope the rules are clear. So please note down the questions. So students, in rule number 6, I have written the rule in the chart form. The first one says, if the noun is singular noun, then to show possession, we can use apostrophe s. If the noun is plural and ending with s, letter s, then to show possession, we will only use apostrophe sign. If the plural noun which do not end with s, then in those cases to show possession, we will use apostrophe s, students. As simple as that. Please note down the rule. Students, let us begin with rule number 7. See, this is a very interesting rule, students. Question 1C. Rams, and very sincerely please see the questions. Rams and Shyams, double apostrophe has been used. Rams and Shyams, there are two questions. Mother or mothers, is or are. So I am testing two things. First test is of noun and the second test is of syntax. I have taught you earlier also. And the same thing goes with the second question also. I am taking two tests. The first one is for the chapter noun and the second one is for chapter syntax. So tell me, students, first one, what would be the right answer? Singular mother or double mother or plural mother? It would be plural mother. And what would be the correct verb? The correct verb will be are, because we have learned in chapter syntax that if the subjects are joined by and, then the verb is plural. If the subjects are joined by and, then the verb is plural. So same thing here, the verb would be simple, that would be plural, that is are, that I have explained in chapter syntax. In the second question, what would be the correct noun between mother and mothers? In the second question, the correct noun would be mother. Now students, how are you going to identify that which noun to use? When to use singular noun and when to use plural noun with apostrophe s? See, several books give a very bookish language and that could be confusing in examination. I am giving you a straightforward, very simple trick to solve this type of questions. See students, you must be knowing the counting. Everyone knows. In mathematics, you must be knowing counting. See, what you have to do is, you have to count. In question number 1, you can see we have 2 apostrophes. How many apostrophes? 2 apostrophes. 1 and 2. In question number 2, we only have 1 apostrophe, that is this. So number of apostrophe s decides the noun. If there is 1 apostrophe s, then the noun would be singular. You can see here in the second question, total number of apostrophe s was 1. So I had used singular noun. In question number 1, there are 2 apostrophes. That means there are 2 nouns. And for 2 nouns, that's all quite obvious. That would be plural, not singular. So students, the rule is very simple. Number of apostrophe s is equal to number of nouns. That's a mathematical formula framed by me for easy understanding. So students, number of apostrophe s, once again I am repeating the rule, number of apostrophe s is equal to number of nouns. So the more the number of apostrophe s would be, the more the number of noun would be. 1 apostrophe s means 1 noun. 2 apostrophe s means 2 noun. 3 apostrophe s means 3 noun. So this rule is quite simple. I hope you have understood. Please note down the question, students. So students, I have noted down the rule also. Please note down the rule. The rule is quite simple. Number of apostrophe s is equal to number of nouns. जितने apostrophe s होंगे उतने आपका संज्ञा होगा. Please note down the rule. That's quite simple. So students, now let us come to rule number 8. See, before starting rule number 8, I must remind you what was material noun. You must be knowing, I have taught in the earlier class also, that material noun are such noun which names things which can be weighed or measured. ऐसी चीजें जिसे नापा या तौला जा सके. So this rule is whole centric to that material noun. So students, the question says, this villa is made of stones and rock. ये घर जो है वो बना है पत्थरों और ईंटों से. So now tell me, is the sentence correct or not? See, the sentence is not correct. That's wrong sentence. Why so? Because the rule is quite simple one. Rule number 8 says that we cannot use s or es with material noun. Stones and rocks are what? Those are material nouns. And we cannot use s and es with material noun. If I had told you milk, sugar, doodh, dahi, shakkar, chini, then you would have easily told me that yes, we cannot use s or es with material noun, with milk, with sugar. But in these cases, usually students commit mistake. So I have given such examples. I have asked such examples. Since stones and rocks were material nouns, so we cannot use s or es with any material noun. So please note down the rule, students. Question, students. So students, I have written the rule also. The rule is one-liner. Do not use s or es with material noun. For this, you must be knowing how to identify the correct material noun. Then only you can use this rule. Please note down the rule. Alright, students, now let us begin with rule number 9, students. See, for rule number 9, the most important thing which you must know before reading the question, first try to answer this, that do you know what is a unit? Unit क्या होता है बच्चों? See, अगर नहीं पता तो मैं आपको बताता हूँ. Unit क्या होता है? See, unit is nothing but it is those things which is used to measure like any distance. ठीक है? We use units for measuring distance like kilometer, meter, centimeter, meter. We use to measure weight. For example, example of such units like kilogram, gram, pound. These units are used to measure weight. Some more example of unit of power like watt, volt. These are examples of unit. So units are used to measure, weigh these things, these units too. So if you can identify units, then only you can answer the question. So students, read the first question. I bought 4 dozens of bananas. First question. Is that correct? If yes, you are wrong. That's wrong. What about the second one? I bought many dozens of bananas. This one is correct. See, there are 2 units in this question. In the first question, dozens. Dozens is what? That's a unit because that is counting the number of nouns. Same unit, dozens, because this is counting the number of bananas. Units do what? They count, they measure, they weigh. These are the work of a unit. So, why is the first question wrong? See, the rule says, if a fixed number is used before any unit, as you can see here, 4. 4 is a fixed number. If a fixed number is used before a unit, 4, 5, 6, 100, 1000, 1 lakh, these are fixed number. Then you cannot use s or es with that unit. This s is wrong. It should have been 4 dozen of bananas. Now see the second one. Why this is right? If fixed number is not given before this unit, many. Can you tell me how many? With many, we cannot count. We cannot tell the exact number. This is not an exact figure. If exact figure is not given before a unit, then with those unit, we have to use s or es. So we have used here s. Alright, but here we cannot use. Why so? Because here is a fixed number. So if a fixed number is given before any unit, then we cannot use s or es with that unit. But if fixed number is not given before that unit, then we have to use s or es with that unit. I hope the question is understood to you. So please note down the question, students. Alright, students. So now I have written the rule on the board in a very simplified manner and in a chart form. And this whole rule is all about unit. See, if fixed number is used before the unit, then do not use s or es with the unit. If with the unit fixed number is not used, then please use s or es with the unit. As simple as that. So that's all for today, class. I'll see you in Noun 3, students. That's all for today. Thank you.